Hello and welcome. This is Chris-Ann. I'm coming at you from Elemental Energies with Chris-Ann. It's been a while since we have done a video working on some of our fine motor skills. Approximately a year ago, I did a series of videos working on some really good, effective projects. If you're working with somebody who is working on some fine motor skills, whether that be a young child or an adult, these are projects that are relatively easy to accomplish, and it is really good for pinchers and fine motor, not to mention the fact that we're working with silicone beads mostly. This particular one is all silicone beads. So it's silicone beads, so it's squishy, and a lot of people like that sort of tactile feel of the silicone beads. So for this project, we're working on a bookmark. So this bookmark just slides into the book. It hangs out like that. So let's get cracking. I have a series of the things that we're going to be beading, a series of these different types of bookmarks. This one is the same as this one. It is all metal. It is the stainless steel, surgical steel stuff, and it has a little bit of a weight to it. I also have a whole package of these. Now, some of these have little hearts at the bottom and some of them don't. Let me take them out of the package so you can see. All of these supplies, oh, that's white on white. That doesn't help you any. There. There. All of these supplies were purchased from Temu when Temu was easy to purchase from. They are slowly coming back. Just give them a little bit of time. You can purchase things from Temu slowly now with free shipping. If you can't find the things that you need through Temu, go to Amazon. I have found that Amazon has all these supplies, and Hobby Lobby has all these supplies as well. You're going to pay a little bit more money at Hobby Lobby, but it's readily available. You can sort of feel and see what you're getting. So these are plastic everywhere except for this. They work the exact same way. They are the exact same thing. The only difference is weight and price. These are cheaper. These are a little bit more money. These are a little nicer. These are still nice. They're still effective. They still do the exact same job. I mean, you can see they are virtually the same size. This being a smidge smaller. Not a big deal to me. Yeah, there. But if you want funky colors, go with these. They work the exact same way. That's all I'm saying. I do not have one planned out ahead of time. I want you to see in real time how I put all of these together. Let's do this pink one. I'm not a pink person, but I'm trying to expand my horizons. So let's grab a little something to put beads and things in. This is a box top, so things won't roll around. You're going to find that one of these, and they both twist, but one of them is a little bit looser than the other one. So when you just give the whole thing a twist, you're going to see this comes off. It doesn't matter if it's the top or the bottom. This, I can't do it without the other part being on, but you can see there's this type of stuff at both ends in there. So they both come off. So I'm going to put that there. Let's pick some beads. I like to start with my focal point bead. In this case, this one is my focal point bead. I have a whole collection of these focal point beads. Now, because this is pink, let me see, is that the same color? To me it is. So I'm going to use this hexagon These are all silicone, just so you know. Hexagon silicone beads. And so I have this container of beads. Doesn't that look pretty? And then I have this container of beads. This container has all different sizes of beads. So what I like to do is, these are some of the smaller ones. I think that's the same color. It is. And then I have some of these rondelles. These are, it's like a squished bead. That's called a rondelle. Let's get a whole bunch. Let's see. We'll do pinks and whites. There's a different pink. Do I like that? I don't know. I'm not a pink person, but I have these beads. Let's use them. Let's see. So this is kind of how I do it. You know, that's a smidge off, so I don't like it. This is how I do it live, sort of in the moment. And if we wanted to introduce another color, we certainly could do that. There is a little bit of pink in those beads. So let me just pull a couple of those out. I don't know. Let's see. I mean, I can certainly add a whole completely different color. So let's move that over there. Now, keep in mind, this is going to be the bottom. This is the top, so this is the bottom. So let's start, you know what, let's start with this one. And let's see what are going to fit. So there's 3 colors on this one. Let's see, which ones do I like? Which ones are gonna fit? I don't like that. There. Now, I don't like these. I'm not going to use these. Let me take these off. Notice, I'm using my pinchers. So I'm using my fine motor pinchers to pick up the beads and put them on this. This is taking hand-eye coordination, fine motor. It is using a lot of those decision-making skills as well. And some people struggle with that too. Sometimes that's the hardest thing. So here's my pincher. I've got my pincher picking up the beads and putting them on. That hand-eye coordination of putting that through that, for some people, can be a challenge. So this is a great project to work on these type of things. Now, you can see where my fan just turned off. So if you're hearing that, my fan just turned off. You can see the sort of like the screw end of things. I am putting this on and I'm leaving a little bit of space here. I'm not going right to the end. I'm leaving a little bit of space. What I can do is I can take this and I can pull all this down. Do you have to do that? Absolutely not, because people that have fine motor issues may not have the ability to do that. And sometimes putting this on this is the hardest part of the entire problem, the entire project. And because this has this extra thing in it, yes, this one can be a little tricky. This one might take another bead. So what I do is I hold one and I twist the other one. That's the easiest part. Once I get this started, and you twist until you feel it stop. And there's our bookmark. In this case, I do need to come in with my tools, and I need to straighten that out. I'm not going to do that right now on camera. That might be, I mean, it's fine. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just me being a little picky that I want that a little bit more even. But there's our bookmark. That's how simple it is. That's how easy this is. So these make great gifts for yourself, for somebody else. If you are selling things at a craft fair or a show, like I'm going to be doing in the very near future, I'm going to be selling some of these. That is something that's really good to do. You know, something that people don't take into consideration when they're working, whether it be like an OT or a PT or a preschool teacher or whatever your situation is. Yes, you're working on fine motor, you're working on pinchers, you're working on hand-eye coordination, but do you know what else you're working on? You are working on the ability for somebody to say, look, I made this. Confidence. Confidence in what you're doing is huge. It's a wonderful thing for somebody to have confidence, especially if they've had like an injury or car accident, or you're a toddler or preschooler. It's exciting to see what you can make. So let's make another one. And I'm going to show you some different beads. So once again, I'm holding the two ball ends. I'm just twisting. I'm seeing how it comes apart. The top came off this one. Let me move this out of the way. I'm going to put that there. Let me put these away. And I have another type of bead here. You might see these beads all over the place. These are acrylic. They're plastic. These can go, it looks like it can go on like a Pandora bracelet or something like that. So, I mean, that's another project you can do. You can get like a bracelet and sort of string these on. So you might have some of these beads. These beads fit. Let me just take a couple out. I have all different types. I know they're crinkly. Let me move that crinkle out of the way. So if you want to use these, here's my suggestion. Use them in combination with these beads, because these are going to kind of grip and hold these on better in place. So let's pull some blues. What's that blue? Just going to pull a bunch of blues. Okay. So I'm only working with one size of these and one size of these. Now, if I want to put this on here, there's a lot of space. It wiggles. It has wiggle room. But if I come in and I add one of these, it holds it. There's no wiggle room anymore. So if you want to play around with these, that's my suggestion. Mix. And because these have a bigger hole to them, that might be a little bit easier for somebody with fine motor issues. Let's add another one of these. That might be easier for somebody with fine motor issues. You know what? I don't like that one. To be able to put that one on this. These holes are smaller. I mean, you almost don't see it. It's there. These holes are much bigger. So think of the population that you're working with. What is going to give them more success? There's that one. So these are plastic. These don't have that squishability that these do. So let's add this back on because, I mean, this is still really pretty. So once I get this started, that's the hardest part, is getting this little twist started. Once I get that started, I don't have to deal with this flopping all over the place. I hold this, and I give it a twist. There we go. And I keep going until it stops. It will stop. There. Really pretty. This piece is heavier than the base of this piece, but the beads have a little bit of weight to them too. You see how quick? You see how easy that is? I mean, it's super, super, super easy, but for somebody that's struggling with fine motor, etc., this can take a little bit of a time. Or if you're dealing with a preschooler, this can take a little bit of time to get this going and to get this done. But you know, this is a really fun project. And then you can put it in a book that you're working on, so it encourages reading as well. There, more bang for your buck. I know, that was always a struggle for me to get my son to want to read, and he never wanted to read. But now he's 18 and he wants to read. I don't know. Something happened. Who cares? I'm not changing it. I love it. So, in fact, I will be making one of these and giving it to him for his book. Or books, I should say, because he's bought multiple books. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this has been helpful for you. I have a whole series of these projects dealing with fine motor on my channel. So please subscribe to my channel because I also have a whole bunch more that I'm planning to do coming right up, as a matter of fact. So I'm going to try and post maybe one every couple of weeks, maybe one a week, maybe one a month. I don't know. But I am going to be posting a lot more of these because I enjoy making these as well. So I hope this gave you some options on the types of beads, different types of beads that you can work with, and the bookmark itself. So you can look up on Amazon beaded bookmark blanks. You can look that up on Temu once Temu starts getting going with the tariff situation. And if you go to the bead aisle in Hobby Lobby, you're going to see a whole bunch of different things like this. It's not with the strung beads. It's on the aisle that faces that, but it's not on the same, at least in my Hobby Lobby. It's not necessary. It's not with the strung beads. It is near that. So just so you know where to look. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Check out my website, elemентalenergieswithchrisanne.com. I have a lot of product there, and I'm going to be having a show coming up in September. It's going to be in Portland, Maine, and I'm going to be doing the Enlightenment Expo in Portland, Maine. So I'll have more information on that and I'll post it to my website. So check all that out. Plus I'll have it on social media. So on Instagram and Blue Sky, Chrisanne1234, and on Facebook, Elemental Energies with Chrisanne. Thanks so much. Take care. Be free.